A star is a star is a star. That's it. A star is very distance, which will impact us to a greater extent. Star of Bethlehem is one of the most precious jewel of Jerusalem. It is, and it soothes and comforts, and a possibility of realization is there in Star of Bethlehem. All the remedies are spiritual.
Star of Bethlehem Flower Conscious helps us with heartaches, shock, and trauma. It can help those who feel numb and are trapped in a state of shock physically, mentally, and spiritually. It is one of the flower conscious in rescue remedy. It neutralizes any form of energetic traumas, integrates the actions of the other flower consciousness, and quickly restores the body's self-healing abilities. The energetic trauma occurs any time was experienced as shocking event that our energy system is unable to cope with. The untreated shock will remain in the energetic system, causing an imbalance and blockage in the area it influences. At the end, an adult person may still suffer from an energetic trauma at birth. Such shocks do not have to be major life events. They can stem from something as special, as simple as shutting the door on your fingers, falling down when you're riding a cycle in front of the car, and so many. As seen, they can be physical, intellectual, or emotional events. They can manifest in personality traits or in personal symptoms. For instance, a person who has been informed of a financial or legal setback may react by withdrawing emotionally or by exhibiting physical symptoms such as blurry sight or inability to hear. In this intense SOB conscious needed person will seem to be in a mental half sleep. He will withdraw from everything he does not want to have feelings about, such as a soldier who has experienced the traumatic event of war and tries to avoid replaying those events in his mind. Those experiencing the medical condition known as post traumatic stress disease or stuck in the Star of Bethlehem consciousness needed state. Dr. Batch called Star of Bethlehem the comforter and the soother of pains and sorrows. Star of Bethlehem awakens the personality and leads it back to its higher self. It re-establishes energetic links so that residues of energetic trauma can dissolve and allow the individual to regain energy, vitality, mental clarity, and inner strength. Healers should take Star of Bethlehem regularly because none of healers are immune from experiencing traumatic events. Since their energies respond to traumas, both large and small, they are often in need of Star of Bethlehem to clear the blockages and allow us to return to normal. Recommendation of giving Star of Bethlehem to newborns so that the trauma of birth can be released rather than remaining the clog of energy pathways. Patients with psychosomatic conditions that have proved untreatable by conventional methods often find relief with Star of Bethlehem is given to them. Star of Bethlehem needed people suffer from the same nightmare. Wholeness state. It will bring comfort. We can learn to deal with a traumatic event and can manage the emotions of this experience. Star of Bethlehem support a calming effect on the nervous system, relieving tension and emotional overwhelm. Star of Bethlehem encourage self-compassion and the ability to move forward from painful past experience.
Star of Bethlehem relates to the soul qualities of awakening, reorientation, and resurrection. It helps in the after effects of shock, physical, emotional, and spiritual. When we are thrown in a sudden shock situations like sudden bad news, accident, after falling a victim to physical or emotional abuse and violence, or prolonged stress, even if the incidents happened recently or long time, the after effects of such happenings do not wear away with time. They are retained in the subconscious mind and may cause unlimited damage to our physical and mental well being. Star of Bethlehem neutralizes any form of energetic trauma, helping the body to recuperate fast. A person who is in need of Star of Bethlehem remains in a mental and spiritual half dream, a kind of inner numbness. Star of Bethlehem helps in menstrual periods of women because every menstruation is seen as a little birth and each is a kind of mini shock. There is an old wound in your life that you don't dare to remember. Star of Bethlehem is there to ease your trauma. You can consider Star of Bethlehem when there has been no real response to treatment. If the shock can be treated without delay, the impacts of the trauma is lessened. And for this reason, it is one of the five remedies in the rescue remedy. It can be used for rheumatoid arthritis along with other remedies. When you experience physical side effects like a loss of feeling or numbness, an uncertain gait, a change of voice, water retention, Star of Beth will help. If Star of Bethlehem flower consciousness, you take things in deeply and can sense their subtle differences. You are able to relate to all shades of other feelings. You learn to deal appropriately with your emotional experiences.
This is like the great mind altering essence, and it repairs, replaces, and regenerates. So normally, the people who are saying like, I have trusted you, I have trusted you only. So and like people are like killing me, so they'll say all these things with a lot of shock, and this directly impacts the heart functions, lungs congestion, and inflammation, swelling. All these things can be treated with SOB. Habitual constipation, diarrhea, headache, all these things and these people will be talking very softly and their voice will go off like at the end of the statements, even we will not be able to hear them. This is called like energy blockage, energetic trauma, physical dislocation of subtle body. We can say it in that way. And this can help for those like who has uh, their money is stuck somewhere, or even the drainage issues at home, and more items are there in home. We can use this to organize it in a better way, like and physical and mental trauma. And normally, like the cancer patients will have a trauma that about their life, it's going to be end. But for that trauma, like this SOB, that will create a shock that was there
Soon
in the
after
past.
they are diagnosed uh, the disease as cancer, Star of Bethlehem can be given.
So even the emotional shock, all these are like coming under emotional shock. In childhood, parents, anyone is like beating the child, and even that is a shock for the child. And this helps us to come out of the shock, relief out of the shock with conscious or unconscious. Sometimes it would be there with our consciousness, with some organs too. In the sense, even our organs are like in shock without our notice. So this is normally associated with our Muladhara chakra, and it is a soul protection for us. It comes under the despair and despondency category when Bash was categorizing it. So it's normally works for this nerves related, neutralizes the energetic trauma, and how this happens is see when there is a shock. Uh, it may lead to some physical dislocation or movement issues, and they'll not be able to think about anything, which blocks their blocks their thoughts, functions, and it will impact directly with the body. And sometimes, like even the paralysis or something may happen. It is all because of the energy blocks. So for releasing those energy blocks, SOB really helps. And even for any poisonous bites, snake bites, and people are stuck with a financial loss. If they are investing somewhere or doing a business and it has gone for a loss, all these are coming under a shock. So these people are really intelligent when they are coming with a full tendency. They are very intelligent, very sharp. They'll have logical reasoning in their talks, and there is no uh, block while they're talking. They'll be talking spontaneously, fluently, and this Star of Bethlehem is really helpful for us to cure the hereditary disease if anything is there, and it will prevent us uh, not to take it forward for our future generation. And this will really help, like when there is a life death situation, and even if we have any tumors anywhere, like this will help us in a course of time, like maybe 3 months if we are trying to take it up. um, this will help us even if the nerves are like blocked with some stress and it is impacting our life. This will be really helping us. And
Another word which is important is transplant. From if you are transplanting a plant from one area to the another, if you are going to a foreign country, if there is a major operation happening, everything, if there is a tumor in our brain, everything is connected with the Star of Bethlehem.
like this helps us to really get the enlightenment. And say for an example, like if a wife is like lost her husband and she's stuck and she couldn't talk anymore, uh, when the child is nearing her, she is out of the shock. So the child is the Star of Bethlehem for that lady. And she is relieved out of the shock, and she needs a hope to live from there. So that kind of help is given by the Star of Bethlehem, and this really coordinates with our spinal cord. Like mostly, so spinal cord is more essential for the human. It is the third leg. Like so, it is like that much important. This Star of Bethlehem is rec- required for us at least to take once in a year, and this will really help us to go with the pattern breaking. Pattern breaking in the sense, like say for an example, I'm addicted with a coffee and I could not I don't want to leave coffee, so I can break that pattern and come out of it. So and body stress will be relieved, and stress in any portion of my organ, in body, mind and soul, like all those will get relieved out of this uh, Star of Bethlehem. And the disorientation is like resolved. And it it resolves the spiritual digestive order by it is like there's a shock by thinking that whether this person may attain the spiritual highness. By seeing that, the energy blockage may come for a person, so directly impacts the heart and liver. And this when goes for the full tendency, it connects us with the cosmos. Normally, like the shadow tendency will be like undisciplined, unruly, cruel, violent. So rough conflicts and struggle will be there. And even like people who are not having shyness or self-respect and rage, like we can help them with Star of Bethlehem. And if people are saying that this is not required for me, this is an unnecessary problem for me, and somebody is like ready to stick with their disease, okay, let me go ahead with it. Or like if somebody is like impacted due to some shock in accident or any other financial loss, or due to the disasters or with the persons, then this will resolve them to come out of it. So Alexander says, like in his death, like asked the soldiers to keep his hands outside to reveal the earth, like nothing has taken in and nothing has taken out, like when in his death. So the Star of Bethlehem normally refers uh, Jesus Christ, and this Alexander saying. So it's all like organized, elegant, pleasant, and resurrection and rebirth, you can say. And it's a light flower, um, which enlightens us.